Hello everyone, my name is Mirna and on behalf of the Mindalia TV team, welcome to Mindalia live streaming, where thousands of people around the world gather to see the lectures and interviews organized by Mindalia TV. Today with us, Angel Ribos, CEO consultant, TV host, international public speaker and president of the Wisdom for Kids Foundation, along with Sunny Chase. She is not only the host of this show, but also the host of ABC Solutionary Sundays. She is the featured writer and chief strategist of Whole Lifetimes, the longest running conscious magazine in America. Sunny is a producer, moderator, and mythbuster, and they are going to be bringing a very special guest today, Sister Jenna. Before starting with you, I want to remind you that Mindalia's mission is to share information that can help raise the level of consciousness around the world, and you can help us by subscribing to our channel, leaving us a positive comment down this video, or sharing it with someone that you know that is going to benefit of the content that we are going to be discussing here today. Also, while we are live streaming like right now, we have the active chat, the screen that you're going to be seeing here on my side, and through there you can enter your questions, you can interact with us. We just please ask you to follow the format, word question in caps, the actual question that you have, and the place where you're seeing us from. Last but not least, Mindalia is broadcasting from Monday through Friday in Portuguese through Mindalia Televisão, in Spanish through Mindalia Televisión, and in English, as you already know, through Mindalia TV English. We want you to visit our different channels and to find out what we are developing there on a daily basis, information as beautiful and as interesting as the one you see daily on Mindalia TV. We also want you to collaborate with us with your own personal value, with your content, your wisdom. And for that, you can go to our website. On the top, you're going to find a link. It says Collaborate with Mindalia. And that link is going to take you to a form that you can fill out, and our technical team will be getting in contact with you. I'm not going to delay this any further. I will leave you with Sunny, with Angel, and with Sister Jenna. Thank you for being with us today. Welcome to Mindalia live streaming. The screen is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the introduction, Mirna. Welcome. Everybody here to the show. This is a special show today on Thanksgiving Day. We really appreciate everybody who's watching us today, as well as obviously Sister Jenna and Sunny, who are with us on one of the most important days throughout the year here in the United States of America. So thank you for being with us today. And Sunny, we have some sort of technical issue we have not been able to solve before. So, but that doesn't mean that her strength and her joy is not present with us. Hi, Sunny, how are you?
Good morning, Angel. Sorry about my techno situation today, but perhaps I'll just come through anyway, and my voice will be with you, and my joy is definitely with you, and so much gratitude for this day, and for all that you do, and that Sister Jenna does, and Mindalia TV does. So to be able to bring this show out to everyone on a day where we have all different ways of celebrating, and some with people we love, and sometimes we don't get to be with the people we love, and there's just such a huge combination of emotions that go on this day. And of course, it's really moved from the original holiday because of sort of the situation with our indigenous people, and really moving to Gratitude Day. So the giving of thanks, and our title today, of course, is the giving of thanks and the giving luminosity of giving. So that is why we have the amazing Sister Jenna, who will definitely bring the light to the conversation. And I want you to know I do have my candle with me today, even though you can't see it. It is glowing next to me, so I want you to know I do have my candle.
Wonderful, beautiful, beautiful that you have your candle with you. At the end of the day, we're all, beings of light. We are here to give light to each other. We are part of the same. We are all one, and the light is an intrinsic component of our beings and of our lives and of our souls. I heard the other day a wonderful explanation of what the soul is, and the soul is is processing our thoughts, and the soul is the origin of our of our light. So this day in which we are grateful for all the things that we already have, all the joys that we already have, all the people who are around us, who have been around us with us. It's a day of compassion. It's a day of accepting. It's a day of harmony, and
Yes.
it's such a powerful way of gathering all together and joining everybody's light. Can you imagine, Sunny, if we did this every day, every single table in all the country, we join our light intentionally, and we intended for something all together at the same time. Oh my God.
Oh, when you were talking last week about how you as a person from Spain came to America and really witnessed this, I've been thinking about that all week because of the concept of, in America, we just get ready for the turkey and perhaps pumpkin pie and where we're going to travel and that sort of thing. And, we pull it together and really get into the gratitude before we dig in, basically. But when you were saying that, being, as I say, sort of a foreigner coming in and witnessing this, it really, really stuck with me. And your words that you just said, that is really what we're doing on this day. And all the kind of kooky craziness that it takes us to get to the place where we finally sit down together. Even if people are not really voicing it, I know there is a calm that comes over people. There is that ritual that happens with all the people around the table and perhaps some candles being lit and the yummy, familiar smells that people are used to having year after year. So that brings them back to maybe their childhood or 5 years ago. And it is such a ritual that we all in America experience. And I was even watching today, for those who don't have families near, there's so many places where people serve thousands of meals on this very day. It's just what it's about. And I was thinking, wow, this day is really about food. But it's really not about food. It's about the sacred ritual of coming together.
Yes, absolutely. And Sunny, I was reading about Sister Jenna before the conversation today, and wow, I was completely fascinated and impressed about what she does, what she's been doing, and hopefully what she's going to be doing for hundreds of years to come. So Sunny,
Yes.
Please introduce us to Sister Jenna, if you were so kind.
I would love to do that. So I'm so grateful to have on this day Dr. and Sister Jenna, who is she has, believe it or not, she has so many things. Let's see, we'll get through them. She is a beautiful radio show host. She is the director of the Brahma Kumari meditation libraries. She works with such people in politics and in businesses, and she moves gracefully and quietly and almost stealthily through working with so many people that you and I both know, and many of us know, and will never know that she worked with them, because she comes, she works with them, she allows them to be their best selves, and then she floats away and works with other people. And there's so much more that we'd like to talk about, but I would like to, on this great day, I can't imagine a better guest to have with you and me, Angel, is the beautiful Sister Jenna. So hello, Sister Jenna.
Hi, everyone. Shanti. Happy Thanksgiving, Angel and Sunny. What a warm introduction. And you know what, Sunny? You've just inspired me to open up a Brahma Kumari's meditation library. But what we have in meditation museums in the nation's capital, and we're very happy that they're doing such extensive work in the community. But thank you. Thank you for thinking of me after having an option of 8 billion people to call on this day that this year it has been my opportunity or my chance. And so I feel very honored to actually be with all of you today. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. And forgive me about that, because I do know you have the meditation session, but maybe there is something about a library, or perhaps books will come to your centers, or more than are already there.
Who knows?
So, Sister Jenna, I'm going to just ask you one question, and then I know Angel will come in. But I wanted you, if you don't mind, to share with us a bit about the ritual of this day of Thanksgiving.
It's
How it-
interesting. I think really the origin of it was about communing together as family and tribes, where there was a conflict between people. There were some differences between folks, and for some reason they were able to come together and break bread. Similarly, like Jesus and the 12 disciples when they break bread, or there's just something about coming together over food that just heals hearts, especially if the food is tasty. If it ain't so good, it might be rough. But the fact that we come together over food, one of the most important staff of life, and I feel that it started as a result of that. And I believe it was the United States president that actually declared it to be held on a Thursday. Might have been Roosevelt, I'm not sure, but on the Thursday, the third Thursday of every month. And it's about coming together. But as time evolves, we sometimes, unfortunately, lose the sacredness of certain things that are originated out of maybe tragedy or out of pleasure. I don't know. But we tend to move away from the sacredness of what it all means. However, I'm very hopeful right now, Angel and Sunny, because we are in perhaps similar times of such tragedy that now that people are coming together, I think they really mean it. They really want to make their differences stay outside the door. And I think people are really wanting to come together out of love and meaning right now and feel safe with one another.
Yeah, I think that's so true. And I think, of course, with so much going on in California, with so much with the fires and the shootings, and then now I'm hoping that the rain that came last night usually is a cleansing aspect in California, and I haven't heard yet if there's anything with floods, but I'm just hoping it was just enough to clean the particulates out of the air. I'll hope that that's what happened, because we do need that for our health for sure here.
You know, I have to say, everyone who is watching, right before we came on, there were just this little technical issue with Sunny's camera, and that's okay. And I was observing Angel, just being grateful that she's on and we have her voice and we have her spirit. And as I was observing that scene from the back, I was saying, this is what it's like when you really live a grateful life, even if it doesn't turn out the way you want it or it's supposed to, you can still, in some way, support the other. And it's not always going to be about you, but it's about us. It's about the other. It's about all of us. And I just wanted to mention that because, Angel, I really saw that today. I would be like, oh, okay, who's not going to be here tomorrow at work?
Yeah, and you know, we are so much in hands of technology all the time that I mean, it's funny. I was thinking about that because I have 3 kids. So this week in Texas, it's holiday, so kids are in vacation. So obviously,
You're getting tested.
The conversation, you know, the amount of hours per day, and you know, the exposure to. Thank God, everybody reads a lot here. I mean, we have a ton of books. We buy a ton of books. We give a ton of books as presents, and we donate books almost every single month. So, but all this technology, I mean, it's important. I mean, it's always important to stay present, but staying present for not being hostage. Being hostage. Yeah.
It's like the technology is a gift, and we're thankful for technology if we use it for reasons of helping to find our loved ones who might be lost in the Woolly fire, the fires in California, or the shootings in Thousand Oaks or Parkland or wherever it might be. There have been so many this week in America. I don't even know if we're able to keep up. From Chicago to California to it's just insane. And I think there really needs to be a dialogue there. And so technology is a tool for us to be thankful for if we're able to understand that once we hold this tool in our hands, that we can create a life and make it better, or we can break a life and lose someone who means a lot to us.
Absolutely, and just today, as probably I got some messages, people wishing my family and myself, happy Thanksgiving, and I also got some emails like sent from cell phones, so I didn't know what those people were because they had these numbers at the beginning of the email address. So I was responding, thank you for this beautiful message, and then I appreciate your immense, gesture of sharing your gratitude with us. But isn't it funny also that Sunny, when she said that library is a great place. We go to library all the time. It's a gathering place. It's a beautiful place. So it's a day of gathering. It's a day of considering what we all have in common. The common denominator.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Sister Jenna.
And Sonia and I had a wonderful conversation yesterday. We talked just about everything, everyone. And this morning I woke up percolating some of the ideas and thoughts that we just shared with each other. And I'm finding myself focusing a lot on tribes and communities. And it almost feels like because we have too much time to ourselves and that maybe life is not as tragic as we have heard back in the Cold War, World War I, whatever it might be, but that life is a little bit okay. And as a result of that, we've become so isolated in our own pods that we no longer have the practice of being engaged with one another. And social media isn't the real engagement of relationships. I'm talking about like how you and I stayed on the phone for over an hour yesterday and talked about life and how real that was and how genuine that was and how we could feel each other and respond from that place of feeling. And I think that's what this Thanksgiving is offering all of America and other cultures that are supporting it, is a time for us to listen with care and to share with care. And I know I want to do that today too with my friends and family.
Absolutely. Yes. Oh, go ahead, Angel.
No. I was going to ask Sister Jenna more. So I would like Mindalia TV's audience to know more about you. What do you do? What is that passion that keeps you going every single day?
Sandy asked me that yesterday, and I was just saying nothing much. I'm just living out my call. You've got to listen to those quiet thoughts. Those quiet thoughts have a way of signaling to you what's next or where you're supposed to go. But anyway, since a teenager, I just had the fortune of getting into the vortex of the Brahma Kumaris meditation centers all around the world. And my parents are teachers. And so as a result, I later on in my late 20s, in my mid-20s actually, just ended up feeling like I want my life to have meaning. I want to feel safe, because in order for you and I to feel safe, we have to have a lot of positive thinking, because it's our thoughts that make us feel safe or unsafe. So when I realized the importance of safety in life, it doesn't matter where I am, I realized that I had to take charge of the quality of thoughts that I percolate in my own head, in my own being, in the soul. And so when I found the teachings in the Brahma Kumaris, which comes from Raj Yoga meditation, it just became so clear. There was a beginning, there is a middle, and there is an end. And then I had a choice to see how best I could use that cycle of thinking. There's a beginning to my pure thoughts, there's a middle to my pure thought, there's an ending to my pure thought, but then there's also a continuity of my pure thoughts. And so if I can continue to keep creating that energy, just imagine what my life would be like. So here I am over 25 years later, that I've been blessed with a life of service and just being there with folks and with people and helping and being able to help. When you can help and give help to others, it's a great honor. And when you can take help from others, it's a great honor. To be able to receive help from people you love or trust, I think is one of the greatest feelings that you could have. But also to be able to help someone because they trust you is also a great feeling. So my work in the Brahma Kumaris has been extensive, and it has dovetailed into a lot of different aspects of service and opportunities. And the launch of my radio show 5 years ago, America Meditating Radio, has been just a hobby, and it's been a wonderful hobby, and I love it because it expands my awareness of people and acceptance of people. And now I'm here with you guys. It's on Thanksgiving, and it's 2018, and we didn't think we would survive another year of this, but we are. and we're learning so much about ourselves and about our neighbors. And we're also learning that if we are judging our neighbors who are very, very different than us, we've also lost sight of wisdom. And so, you know, we're all in this together. It's like we're learning a lot right now. And I'm just fortunate enough to belong to the Brahma Kumaris, which is not really an organization that holds you at bay. It's just that it's a tribe. We share a lot of common values, but we're also just, I'm for the world. Don't belong to one, I belong to all.
Well, another thing I'll add to that, Angel, and to the audience is that Sister Jenna is exceedingly humble, and she does so much more than we'll ever know, and that's the way she likes it. Absolutely. And she's like one of the coolest chicks ever.
That I will say yes to.
Really. And we need, honey, I think it's called that. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that it's funny that you identify that. And I would say my beginning years, I was not cool. I was retentive because, you know, when you are called on a spiritual path, you're supposed to be very Mother Teresa and popish and yogi-ish, and sit like this, talk like this, walk like this, look like this. And then when I had my moment of deep honesty with myself, oh wow, what a freedom, that I was okay with whatever was going to unfold for me and others. And I just lived with the feeling that it has to be enough for you. I'm not your God, I'm your sister, and we're in this together, and God belongs to all of us, and we just need to pull his love in our spirit so we can help each other to be better examples of humanity. And so that's why I kind of like being cool.
Yes, because I think one of the things that I've noticed in many, many years of just being in the spiritual world is that often, I remember many, many years ago, like in the 80s, when people would say, oh yeah, but what do I have to give up? You know, do I have to become a vegetarian and give up meat to be spiritual? Do I have to give up, you know, this or that? Do I have to meditate an hour and a half a day? Are there all these have-tos? And what I think is so great now is that it really, all of the elements of sacred living, I like to call it, are everywhere and all the time. We had a guest on a couple weeks ago, Aimee Linden Adams, who was talking about kind of the concept of work and play as 50-50 instead of, you know, working 95% of the time and having Saturday night off. And then I was entertaining the idea with her is it's 100%. You know, there's no separation with that. It's all woven in all the time. So that's why I like being able to witness someone as cool as you doing really the work, you know, doing the very, very heavy lifting in India and many, many places that it's, you know, it's serious heavy lifting. And then also being able to be, you know, just rock it. So I love that about you.
I think it might have, maybe it just comes from my, you know, before answering my call, running nightclubs in South Beach, Miami, and Key Biscayne. I think it prepared me for a very social environment of, I wouldn't say preaching, but of offering light. Where I used to offer something else, now I'm offering something else, but it's almost the same. I want to see people happy. I want folks to feel intoxicated and enlightened. And I felt that through the portal of the Brahma Kumari's teachings. But I'll have to say to you guys that at the beginning, I had to give up a lot of things. It was my way of thinking that I needed to get there spiritually. Now, I don't have an answer for everyone watching and listening to this today, that You have to give up drinking, you have to give up sex, you have to give up this person, give up that, give up that. I can't tell you that. But what I do know that for me, when I did give up all of those things, something in here expanded. And because I had less dependencies on certain things that were triggering my feelings, it gave me insight on a vibrational capacity, which I don't know how else it would have gone in there for me. I'm not talking about anyone else, but for me. And years later, after I settled into feeling comfortable with the vibration of my regained purity, I didn't have a desire for drink. I didn't have a desire for meat. I didn't have a desire for sex or any of those things. And so I don't know if it's the same for everyone, but I do know that you just need to start with where you are. And for me, if you're a beginning meditator watching this TV show, just start with 1 minute to be truthful to yourself. It is a day of giving thanks. So thank yourself that you're willing to adapt 1 minute out of the day that you're going to be truthful to you and you're going to be honest to you. And you will be thankful that you were able to have the courage to be honest with yourself for 1 minute. And that will just start you off on whatever the journey is supposed to take you, wherever it's supposed to make you end up. Just do that. And I think that's really important on the journey of your spiritual awakening and development.
Well, I think what you're talking about, and then Angel, I'm going to say this and then I want you to speak too, of course. I love that what you're saying is, really about giving us ourselves permission and moving out of the judgment and allowing kind of the permission to come in for however we are. And I just want to say one funny thing, and then I can feel Angel's going to say something beautiful. I was watching our one of our fun, speaking of cool, Snoop Dogg just got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame this week. And, people get up and they thank all the different people, my mom, my dad, all that. And made me think of it, Sister Jenna, when you were saying to take that 1 minute to thank ourselves, because he got up and he said, I want to thank me. I want to thank me for doing all the hard work. I want to thank me for showing up. I want to thank me for believing in myself. I want to thank me for having the rockin' talent that I have. And I thought, amen, brother. So I just want to share that.
Sunny, you know what? I was having chills as you were saying it.
Oh.
So, oh my God, it's so important to appreciate ourselves and to forgive ourselves. Oh my God, we are so hard on ourselves.
Yes.
So hard on ourselves. I mean, oh my God, it's like, what is heavier than ourselves? When you say, I remember when I started meditating a few years ago, I was thinking, oh my God, why should I, instead of working a little bit more or reading a little bit more or eating a little bit more, why should I spend this time just like focusing on my breath? It's like it's like I'm doing something wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong for my life, for my family, for my work. It's like we are so hard on ourselves. And again, as you know, Sunny, I like to go to childhood very often because of the kids I care about in Latin America and my foundation. And we always teach the kids that they are all wise. They're beings of wisdom, and there's no more closer to a being of wisdom than being a kid. And it's when they grow, it's when we teach our kids and we help them. We raise our kids that unfortunately we put this fear and this pressure on them that they forget that they are light beings and they can do so many more things in their lives. How do you see this, Sister Jenna?
It's a growing process, no doubt. And I think as a parent, even as a friend, as a spouse, it's not that we don't want to take care of the people close to us or the people that we love. It's just that in the soul, in each of us as souls, we feel that there is something more that we want to do for our lives. And sometimes it feels like the kids, the wife, the husband, the auntie, the mother, the father, they're not on my level of alignment. And so I feel like I'm being held back from what I feel I dream to be. And so sometimes it creates conflicts or frustrations with the self. And I can only tell you what I do when I'm in that place, when I have to take care of a lot of different people. And it feels like, but that's not where I want to go. But okay, I have to go back here to take care of you, but that's not where I belong. That's not where I feel I want to go. And so one of my truth factors is that, Jenna, you have to raise your energy to such a vibrational level whereby you've got to pay attention to what you're thinking. You have to pay attention to what you're saying. You have to pay attention to the choices that you're making. And I don't mean have to. I mean, like, it's a good recommendation to do that. And you have to observe how you're feeling, because all of that is connected to the vibration that is going to be walking with you into the future. And so it's important for you to check, if I'm feeling okay now, then I know that's going to be in my tomorrow. But if I'm not feeling okay right now, well, that's going to be in my tomorrow. And when you've got children, Angel, to take care of, or you have a foundation of children to take care of, everything in you is about, I want the best for them because I want the best for me. And so the pressure can happen when you see them not moving at a speed or at a particular level of understanding. It can hit us because I'm wondering, do I do the same to myself? Have I not understood something? Am I not moving at the speed that I can move? And so I'm taking this from another angle, like, observe how you're feeling inside of yourself as you are taking care of others, because that's really the force of the energy. And because you're so close to people, they become your mirrors to help you to see where your frustrations are. It's not them. No one can be you and you can't be them. But they are signaling to us, well, as you can see, you need to do some more elevation inside of yourself. And you should be thankful that you've gotten the chance to see that. And I found that when I turn my attention there, my attention goes off of what they have done or not done. And it goes on what I need to start to do to pull me up. And that's been priceless.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's true. It's difficult to, well, let's say it's not difficult, but it just requires to be completely in charge of your own, of your own thoughts, to be fully aware of where you are when you are with others, as opposed to be reactive, because we tend to be reactive. We tend to be thinking all the time, what's the next thing I'm going to say? What's the next thing I'm going to do, depending on what the others are doing to me. So,
and are they doing anything to us, or is our energy interpreting what they're doing it's about me?
One example I would say, especially Angel, when you're speaking about the children, I remember when my son was young. He's much older now, but when he was a little boy, I think it's because I was a little bit older when I had him. I was about 32, and and he was my first child, and I had already done a lot of things in my life. And I would sit on the floor and I would play Brio, or I would play, puzzles with him and build my own projects, and he would build his own projects. And people would watch me and say, "Oh my gosh, you have so much patience with your son." And I thought, no, it's not. That's not what it is. I don't have patience with him, because if you say patience, that's sort of a judgment. Like I have to work with myself to be doing this. I was just having a blast being with my son. It didn't take patience from me. So I think what I'm hearing from you, Sister Jenna, is that slight change in the radio station to be able to just feel it differently. When you're moving into that, you're saying, I have nothing else in the world to do but to serve these people today. There's nothing else calling me. There's nowhere else in the world I'd rather be than with these people right now. And by the way, you probably hear in the background fire engines, because we're in LA and there's still fires. So sorry about that.
Okay, I get it.
No worries.
No, I hear that, Sunny, and I guess you could mute it as I talk, because I think that as we learn about this generation of children, you might be able to mute your line, Sunny. As we grow with this generation of children who are very, very different than how we were brought up, we've got technology. They have a lot more solitude. Things are much faster than they were in my days, maybe in your days too. We were more together as people. We were in a community. We were more, 5, 10, 20, 30 of us more. And as Indians, even 100 of us in a room together. And so then here we have kids that tend to have a lot more space and time, and they're on a gadget. And my empathy goes out to the parents, because I don't know what they're going through in this culture, because they too are learning a new way of dealing with children and themselves. But there are also certain parents that are also addicted to their smartphone while they're holding the child. And so the vibration might be there and the child is in the hand and they're like, it's okay, it's okay. So I think everyone is going through a big cultural shift because of technology. And what I would like to recommend is just days when you just leave your phone and have everyone in the family just leave all the technology in a particular basket and just do things that are just human in the house, go to a friend's house or something like that.
Hold on, let me unmute Sunny. I can't do it. Yeah, only she can. Well, anyway, I was gonna. The word that was coming to me was acceptance, and expectations. We should, there's a few lessons on acceptance that we first we should learn as parents, as guides, as helpers, as leaders, as people that lead the others in any way, and besides that. This level of acceptance also allow us to not be so judgmental with everything that's going around us. But I would like the audience to know a little bit more about you. You're, as Sunny said, but you are incredibly humble. I just came back from Florida actually a couple of days ago, and I was on an event, worldwide event. It was a conference that brought together people from all over the world, and there was all these very influential and very celebrities, and I had the opportunity to together with Mirna, we had the opportunity to interview 2 celebrities in the Latino world, and in the world of sports, and obviously all our conversations on Mindalia TV are about inspiring growth, human potential, consciousness. And our conversations with these celebrities were very, very low level, how do you inspire people? How do you, what's next in your life? What are you doing to make this world a better place? And we didn't even have to ask that question, because those two gentlemen were so grounded. And one was talking all the time about doing, I've always done in my life what brought me joy. What brought me joy? What brought me joy? And joy was like his personal guidance system. And staying at that place of joy was his secret. And he retired from the world of soccer, and now he's helping a ton of people, including kids. And the other guy, he's now in a very important position. He owns a soccer club and everything, but his mission is social. His mission is not being obviously he wants his club to be the champion in the country, but his mission is social. And he has an academy for kids, a soccer academy, and he actually gathered the top educators in the country to make sure that his soccer academy would be really bringing the best out of those kids, regardless of their soccer abilities. And he brought neuroscience experts and all sorts of experts. I mean, just amazing. And he said, you know, even if these kids eventually they don't want to play soccer, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But what about the journey of all those kids that were exposed to this innovative, you know, way to learn soccer and many other things, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big supporter of individuals who have influence to do something good with their influential power. And I think that if we're able to allow our creative juices and our creative influences to keep recreating ourselves, our enthusiasm and our zeal will always stay pretty alert. When you're on the path of spirituality, sometimes you become too complacent with the fact that you feel you know certain things in a particular way. You have a particular routine that's just perfect for you. But there's life, there's more, there's so much going on here in the soul, which is your living energy that's giving life to this part that is unfolding every single second of the day, is that we need to keep using our creative juices and we need to be more in service. And so one of the factors, I mean, next year alone, we're going to be initiating a city that will pause for a moment of silence. And we're going to start with Silver Spring, Maryland, where we're going to ask everyone in the city to stop and be still at a particular time. And we're not going to wait for another shooting in America. We're not going to wait for an earthquake. We're not going to wait for a tsunami or hurricane or another fire. But we're going to start to just begin to pause on maybe a particular day, like on a Monday, and just hold a moment of silence just to be still. And in February, I'm working with Minu Blackburn, who's creating a World Dignity Forum in New Delhi, India, between February, I think, 7th to the 10th, around that time. And one of the things that she wants to do is to bring leaders using the Davos format and bring leaders from all sectors of society, from environment, women's issues, politics, media, and so on, youth empowerment, to the table to talk about what new innovative ideas or ideas that you have been engaged in that definitely is leading us towards a world of dignity. This world will not be able to sustain itself if you and I don't even feel our own dignity. And if you want to understand, at least for me, what dignity is, it's an individual who would pause and be very mindful about the words they're going to speak and the choices that they're going to make. And even when you find that you say something that gave sorrow, it doesn't feel well at your dignity level. And so to be able to repair that, to apologize after you've understood what you've done was inappropriate to your own spirit, that's also a form of dignity. So even if I do something that goes against my dignity, I believe there's always room for reparation. So the point that I'm making here is I've done so many things, and I'm not going to really be able to talk about all of it. For me right now, as many of us can contribute to being in service and performing acts of good outside of just our family and friends, outside of just our family and friends. And if it's something as small as even smiling at a stranger on the train, or giving good wishes to a person in a car as you wait at a traffic light, or being respectful to the person at the supermarket counter, you're doing your part and you are in service. And so it's important that we just find something that resonates with our part, our role, our call, and do it. But we have to come together now more than ever. And we've got to become our better self by being in service and offering ourselves more. At least I live that every day.
That's, and that I will say is true. I will say that is true. Oh my gosh. You know, Sister Jenna and Angel, I wanted to ask you something. You know, at this time of the year when a lot of times people come together, Sister Jenna, I so appreciate what you're saying about doing things out of our family and friends, you know, reaching out to the community a bit more. And sacred people maybe feeling a bit complacent that they've got their gig down, you know. One of the things that I noticed, and I notice every year, and I've been really wanting to chat about, is actually Michelle, who we had on our show last week, Michelle Pascal, was sort of talking about that. And I sort of named this thing the present of presence. And I just wanted to read this little dinky thing that I wrote for Whole Life Times for this year about sort of Thanksgiving. And the present of presence is a true gift to our family and friends. Wouldn't it feel generous and freeing to see our peeps as someone who's just stepped into our lives for the first time? How liberating and fun for ourselves and our family to listen deeply, ask questions with curiosity and discovery, and offer heartfelt conversation. We can offer the present of our sense of renewed surprise and wonder about our loved ones at the holiday table. What a gift to us all if we befriend the holiness in our soul and invite our family into that warm and peaceful hearth in our hearts. We can welcome the luminous joy of allowing discovery and the sparkly childhood wonder, childlike wonder of it all. So what I'm saying about that is, I just know so many times when people get together, who they used to be, good, bad, or indifferent, gets locked in a little bit. And so I say this as a way of saying, wow, can we bring ourselves as our new self? And can we allow our family and friends today on this day, who will be with, to just like be their new selves? And I feel like through that can really ripple out and make a big difference in our community. So what do you think of that idea?
I love that. And I think it starts with the questions. I think it's important that as we gather together on this special day, and even though this video will be archived and we can watch it over and over again, not just for Thanksgiving, but definitely start it today, where you begin to raise really meaningful questions with your gathering. Instead of talking about somebody who's an issue, instead of talking about the political corruption or darkness that's going on in the country, ask a question such as like, what is it that you're struggling to figure out in your life right now? What's taking you so long to figure out what you need to do? Ask questions like what Angel asked earlier on in the show, like really, what is the soul and what is the energy of the soul, and how are you doing at a deeper level as a person? And so I think the right questions that we ask at this particular time on the holiday is perfect. And I think what Michel Pascal shared, who I know very well, he's a sweet, sweet person, is that we need to come from that sacred, holy place from within when we're having these conversations with each other. I always use this very funny technique, which I call the 1-year-old formula, that when you're talking to somebody, look at them as if they are a 1-year-old. And I found that what happens, it just breaks down all the ego and stuff that you might have with a person. And you just start to smile at them, and they don't really know why you're smiling, but to see that person with that beauty and innocence and grace, they just feel that they're the most important person in front of you because you're looking at them when they were untarnished. And so they begin to really feel the empowerment of that vision, and what you would have gained in life is another friend. And they will value you more, even if it's an old relationship that's becoming, that you're trying to mend. Look at them again as a 1-year-old today, and you'll find everything will shift. If 1-year-old is too hard because they're naughty at that age, go back to 6 months. And that's definitely going to work.
Wow. This is like a golden bullet. I'm against weapons myself, but this is like a golden bullet that can definitely, win against any or in any battle. And I for the last few days, I have been waking up very early, like 3 a.m., 2 a.m. for some reason, and I really go with the flow. So there must be a reason why I wake up. So I wake up, I go to my office, and today something happened, and I want to share it because it's a little bit related to this. I interviewed 1 month ago a Vedic astrologer. And I interviewed her, and then she interviewed me for her show. And she was so kind, so kind, and so grateful to me that she decided to put my interview just yesterday for her thousands of followers to see. And when she did that, apparently someone looked at me talking about my foundation, what I do in Latin America. And she said, and she was compelled to send me an email. So she sent me an email around midnight last night from, I don't even remember where in the world she is, but She sent me an email saying, I was listening to you and something opened up in me. And then I went out. I looked at the sky because I was driving somewhere, and I saw an angel in the sky. The clouds had the shape of you, Angel. So I know, and she took a picture. She stopped the car. She took a picture, and she sent me an email saying, for some reason, you and I have to talk. So the point I wanted to make is, obviously, I will always wake up at any time that God wants me to wake up every morning. But what a beauty to be able to be just going with the flow and listening and being aware that God is sending us messages every single second. So maybe that also can be part of our conversation today over Thanksgiving lunch.
Yeah. Well, Angel, you really are an angel.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I mean, thank you. And she went and copyrighted the sky image, and anyway, we're going to talk at some point next week. But I mean, it's just imagine that we just taught our kids be open to read what nobody else can see.
Yeah. The permission.
And this mystery, because kids love mystery. Kids love mystery. Kids love this unknown. As far as you don't direct them to do it, this self-discovery of, oh my God, this is amazing, and what is behind that, and what is behind that, and what is behind that. This is another of the opportunities that we have ourselves this amazing day. Oh my God, it's already 4 minutes to the hour, so we should start saying goodbye. Obviously, first of all, Sister Jenna, oh my God, what a blessing to have you with us today. Consider Mindalia your home moving forward. Please.
I will. And my Thanksgiving going away gift is to remember to give up the 3 C's: no more criticizing, no complaining, no more comparison. And the 4th C, practice that consistently, and your eyes will always show the wonder of purity and peace.
Awesome. Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. Sunny, amazing to have you in spirit and in sound.
Thank you. And my love and my just true gratitude for having this show with you, Angel, and for being able to bring such a beautiful, luminous guest as Sister Jenna on this day. And everyone out there, I just love the idea that we're going to just bring our childlike wonder to everything and everyone and everywhere we are today. And much love to you all. Until next time.
Absolutely. Until next Thursday. Thank you. Again, thank you very much. This is Angel Rebo with Mindalia TV. Thank you very much for being with us today. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and hope to see you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.